Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 011, Arithmetic, Section 4.7, Problem 6. This is Section 4.7, Problem 6. It says, according to the nutrition facts on the label of Uncle Manny's brand Charisse, one serving has 450 milligrams of sodium. If that is 22.5% of the total recommended amount of daily sodium, how much is that total? So basically 450 milligrams of sodium is 22.5% of the total you're supposed to have. What's the total? So to answer a question like this, what I like to do is boil it down to the important parts and write it in the form A is P% of B. And if I can write it that way, I can fill in this formula. A over B equals P over 100. And where I have basically three variables, as long as I know the value of 2 and there's only one that's unknown, I'll be able to solve it. So for this one, the 450 milligrams being 22.5% of what total number, you have to fill that in here. So the 450 is 22.5% of the total. So that's the unknown. So I just leave it as a B. So now I have it written in the form that I want. I can now fill in my formula. The A is 450. The is really what becomes the equals. 22.5%, so 22.5 in the numerator. The percent is what the 100 becomes. And then the B underneath is the unknown, so I just leave it as a variable, as B. So now to solve this, I cross multiply. So 22.5 times B is 22.5B. And then multiplying the other way, 450 times 100. Those are big numbers to multiply, but the 100 is easy. Basically, you take the 450 and put 2 zeros after it. That's 450 times 100. So it becomes 45,000. Now, oops, I didn't write the B. To solve for B, I have to divide the 22.5. So I'll have what B equals. So that gives me B equals 45,000 over 22.5. Now, if you're a math teacher, let's use a calculator for class. What you want to do at this point is enter the numerator on the screen of your calculator first, 45,000, press the divide button, then enter the denominator of your fraction, 22.5, hit the equals, and you'll get an answer. Now, if your math teacher doesn't let you use a calculator, you have to do it the long way. So what you have to do is the denominator is outside of the division symbol, and the numerator is under the division symbol. So now we have to deal with the fact that I have a decimal outside of the division. So I can't really do that. If it's inside, you just bring it straight up. If it's outside, what you need to do is move it enough positions so that you get it all the way to the right end of the number. And to do that legally, you have to do it the same number of positions for the number under the division symbol. There is no decimal written for the number under the division symbol, but you can assume it's at the far right end, so it's 45,000 decimal point. So if I pull it one position to the right so that I can make the number in front of the division symbol at 225, I basically pull it over one spot, it makes a blank, and you fill in that blank with a 0. So now I have to divide 225 into 450,000, and that'll give me my answer. So 200, well, we can even rewrite it. 225 divided into 45 with 1, 2, 3. It had 3 zeros before I had a fourth one. So 225 divided into 450,000. So 225 won't divide into 4. 4 is not big enough. 225 won't divide into 4 to 45. 45 is not big enough. It will divide into 450, and at a quick glance, I see that it goes in twice. So 2 times 225 is 450. If you double 225, you get 450, and that goes in evenly. So now you have 3 zeros at the end, so every next zero that you pull down, it's going to go in 0 times. And we can just do that kind of quick like that. It's 2,000. Or if you did it on your calculator, you'd get 2,000. So that's my answer for B. Is that the final answer for the question? B is 2,000. Well, actually it is. The question is, what is the total amount of sodium that you're supposed to take in one day? And we get B is 2,000. So that would be 2,000 milligrams of sodium. They abbreviate that mg. 2,000 milligrams of sodium.